social worker ended up giving me two options that day. One was to sign over temporary care of Ryan while they do their investigation, or to go to court and to allow a judge to make the determination if the allegations were substantial enough to take Ryan into care. The social worker warned me that if we went the court route, the judge decided to take Ryan into care, that the process would be a lot longer and I would lose custody of Ryan for a lot longer. I was 18 years old. I was a single parent. I had no job because I had been told by my parent to not work, to stay home with Ryan, to care for him and to recover and to transition from being a child to a mother myself. So everything was against me. I couldn't offer anything. I was essentially homeless as well. My grandparents very quickly told the social worker that we had a home there, that both Ryan and I would live there, and that homelessness was not on the table. This was not a part of the conversation, and me being unemployed was not part of the conversation as well, because they were going to take care of us during this transition. After we made the decision to sign a temporary care agreement, the temporary care agreement was initially 30 days, and within 30 days they required me to do a psychological evaluation. They required me to do a full medical physical, blood work, and they wanted weekly visitation of me at the Child Protective Services office so that they could see how I treated Ryan. All of this, I agreed to it out of fear that Ryan would be taken from me much longer, and 30 days, while it sounds like a very, very long time, it certainly seemed like the better of the two options on the table. That day the social worker left, and I had an entire afternoon to try and schedule as many things as possible to try and get the ball rolling. When I called a psychiatrist, the first available appointment they had was for 6 weeks later, which meant automatically I would not have Ryan back in my care for a minimum of 6 weeks. I ended up missing Ryan's first Halloween. I missed the first time that he crawled. I did the psych eval, and I was cleared by the psychiatrist while I was there. They knew that it was because of a child apprehension case, and the psychiatrist said that they would write a very positive referral letter, and that they didn't understand any of the accusations made against me with my mental health, because despite going through all of this, I was calm and collected. I ended up getting Ryan back just right before Christmas. It was a lot longer than 30 days. When I got Ryan back, he no longer knew me as his mom. I had only seen him once a week for the first month, and then after that it was about every other week. Ryan knew my face, but he had been for over 2.5 months, he was rocked to sleep by another person. He was fed by another person. He was soothed by another person. So when I got him back, I remember the day so vividly. I remember he was brought in by the social worker. I remember when they passed him back to me, and he immediately kind of shifted his body and reached towards the social worker. And I remember in that moment having almost a feeling of regret, for wanting to take him back because I felt so bad for him. It wasn't that it's not that I didn't want him back. It's that I remember thinking, oh my God, this child doesn't know who I am. He knew the foster parent and he knew the social worker, and just being given to me, he reached back, and I remember feeling so bad for him because he was in his mind with a complete stranger. I have 3 children. My oldest is now over 18, and I have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. And it kills me still today that my relationship with the younger 2 kids is very different than my relationship with Ryan, because for the first year of Ryan's life, he was passed back and forth, and him and I were never given an opportunity to bond properly. Ryan and I did grow up together, but I feel like the relationship that we have partially is so different because for so long he didn't see me as his mom, and I will never ever forgive my parent for robbing us of that. When I did get him back, he cried a lot. He was a very, very fussy baby, but he wasn't when he was younger, before he had been removed from my care.